Hi there. Welcome to another episode of Kel's Tips. Today we're going to replace the LCD screen on this Toshiba laptop, which has major blotching problems on the screen. And I think you can even see some of them right there. Yeah, so it's in pretty rough shape. And we're going to change this out. And like I said, it's a satellite. Well, I didn't say that, but it is a satellite. And satellite C50B00C. And to start with, we'll just take the battery out so we don't have any electrical problems. And we'll proceed to change out the screen. Okay, so as I mentioned, we'll be taking the battery out, which one screw is removed already, and we just have to take the other screw out. And just slide the battery out, as far as I know. Yes, indeed. There it is. Battery's out. We're safe to operate without causing any shorts. Okay, the first thing we have to do is take the bezel off, and that's an inside job for the most part. Just click it away, and it can be tricky. Just take your time and work away at it, and it'll snap out. And you don't want to be too forcible, but at the same time you have to be forceful enough to get it to come away. Phase is to tip the screen back so that the bezel can come off the bottom section of the hinges here. There we go. There it is, one bezel. Okay, so here's the front shot of the LCD screen that I'm going to replace. You'll notice that this particular unit has had some damage, and it's down here in the corner, and I've fabricated a screw with a washer to hook the screen frame up to the lid, and I'll maintain this one up in the left corner. That one's fine, and that one needs to be replaced. So I'm going to attempt to glue in some receivers to the screws that are right here, waiting to go in there, and they should be pretty much like normal once I get them glued in there and hooked up properly. But for now, we're going to proceed to take these screws out so that the frame can come ahead. Okay, we're going to proceed to take this laptop screen out, and your screws probably won't look the same on your machine, but there'll be something similar. It'll actually be these little guys here. These are my own fabricated. Okay, so that's loosened up the screen, and the top has fallen back away from the screen, and I'll just proceed to move this ahead a little bit. So at this point we've got the screen laying forward, and we're just pulling the back connector off of the screen. It's just basically glued down. So there are three screws on each side. Make sure you pull out a tiny Phillips, because these are very, very fine Phillips screws. Take the side mount rails off of the screen so that you can substitute in the good one. And the same on the other side. Okay, I've taken the 3 Phillips screws out of the side mounts as well, and now this old screen is loose and ready to be discarded, and we'll bring in the new screen to install. Okay, so now I'm going to be mixing these two quick set JB epoxy weld, and I'm going to insert a little bit in each one of these receiver holes, and I'll then stick the receiver end screw right into the receiver hole and let that set 6 minutes apparently, so I'm going to have to work fast. I've inserted the receivers for these little screws and glued them in with the epoxy glue, and they're setting. It says it takes 6 minutes, and I believe them. It's pretty fast. Now I'm installing the actual screen itself onto the frame. So there's 6 little screws again that go back in the way they came out for the screen itself. So I'm just going to finish up and get this mounted on the side rails for now. All 6 screws have been put back into the sides, and now it's ready to mount back onto the laptop lid. Next step is going to be to take the lid into a position where we can rehook the 40-pin video cable to this the new LCD. We need to hook it on there and put a little tape on there. And then after that, we're going to hook the LCD back up to the laptop lid with the screws. Have the screen mounted to the side. We have the 40-pin connector connected to the LCD. We have ensured that the camera cable is connected properly. Now a matter of putting the lid back on securely. We have all the screws replaced. We have the new screen installed, and it's simply waiting for the bezel to be put back on and to be fired up. We're simply just putting back in our battery and putting the screws back in to hold the battery into place. The bezel back on, the opposite to the way that we took it off. I guess we'll open the lid wide open. A little squeeze here and there to get the bezel to snap back into place. Around the outside of the perimeter. There you have it. See if it works. There's your screen. Looks like everything's 100% satisfactory. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more episodes. Bye for now.